The office smells like burnt coffee and toner, while a white screen glows and sirens hum. Then a crocodile seal presses into wax as a brother lifts a crown onto his sister, and a family starts to bleed. Alexandria, 170 BCE. Cleopatra II, queen and sister, stands beside Ptolemy VI. They are theoi philomatores, mother-loving gods. The title flatters a dynasty and reassures priests. It also hides a rule the court treats as sacred. Dynastic incest means sibling marriage for legitimacy. The idea presents divine continuity to Egyptian eyes. It also traps royal women inside a narrow cage. A sister becomes a wife by decree, and the city accepts the ritual. If careful human history matters to you, please follow and share this work. Your support helps keep difficult stories honest, sourced, and respectful. Now enter Ptolemy VIII, called Physcon, the Paunch. He is their younger brother. In 164 BCE, he seizes the throne during a civil crisis. Romans arbitrate, and a compromise follows. The brothers will share power with Cleopatra II. Shared power collapses. In 163 BCE, Ptolemy VIII is ejected. He retreats to Cyrene. He waits, watches, and gathers allies. Alexandria keeps Cleopatra II beside Ptolemy VI. The court breathes again, but the wound remains. In 145 BCE, Ptolemy VI dies near Antioch. Sources report a fall in battle after victory. The throne returns to Alexandria with sad processions. Power vacuums attract storms. Cleopatras must choose quickly or be chosen. Ptolemy VIII returns to the city with ships. He marries Cleopatra II, his sister. The marriage is legal by custom, and priests bless it. The ritual includes crowns, incense, and hymns. The dynasty claims the gods approve. Here is the pivot. Within a few years, Ptolemy VIII takes a second wife. He weds Cleopatra III, the daughter of Cleopatra II. A mother stands beside a daughter now cast as rival queen. The palace maps are redrawn overnight. This second union shocks even jaded courtiers. Greek precedent rejects such unions. Egyptian temples tolerate dynastic sibling pairs, not mother-child triangles. But power bends rules when soldiers guard the doors. Who was Cleopatra III? She was a royal daughter, married young. She had a sharp mind and a trusted circle. Her name appears on decrees with her husband. She learns the machinery of rituals, rations, and pay lists. Cleopatra II becomes the clearer victim. Her husband is also her brother. Her co-queen is also her child. Each procession forces theater. Each festival sets one woman near the dais and the other near the throne. Alexandria listens to rumor. Aristocrats judge Greek and Egyptian law. Priests recite old formulas for new arrangements. The street asks one question: who will cradle the heir and control the treasury? In 132 BCE, the question turns to knives. Alexandria erupts in open revolt. Cleopatra II leads the city against Ptolemy VIII. She claims the throne for herself and for her son. The walls fill with painted slogans and ash. Ptolemy VIII flees. He sails west to Cyprus and then to Cyrene. He keeps Cleopatra III and their children close. He does not accept defeat. He prepares a counterstrike with mercenaries and island ports. A boy becomes a message. Ptolemy Memphites, about 13, is the son of Cleopatra II and Ptolemy VIII. He is living proof of the senior marriage. He also stands between rival mothers and a furious king. Ancient writers describe what happens next with blunt words. Accounts suggest Ptolemy VIII has the boy killed. Sources report that pieces of the child were sent to his mother as a parcel. The city goes silent at the gates. No details here, only the fact of a crime turned into policy. The act breaks a mother. It also terrorizes a capital. Officials now know what opposition brings when a king cannot reach a city's walls. Why did he do it? To crack morale, to punish his sister wife, to mark the break with the old order. The message says the dynasty will outlast any one branch. It also says no shrine can protect a child. Cleopatra II does not fall at once. She issues dates in her own regnal year. Decrees still carry her cartouche. Priests still read her names in the temples. Grain still moves, guarded by harbor captains loyal to her. But time favors the fleet. Ptolemy VIII returns with allies. He shuffles governors across the Nile Delta. He buys loyalty with stipends and land. He starves the rebel districts with customs checks. Cleopatra II flees to Syria. She seeks shelter with Demetrius II. The Seleucid court listens, then hesitates. Treaties change week to week in this age. She keeps moving while letters travel between camps. By 124 BCE, fatigue pulls the family back to the table. Alexandria must open its granaries and mint coins. The court brokers a settlement. A triple co-rule begins on paper. Ptolemy VIII, Cleopatra II, and Cleopatra III. The family picture remains a blade. Protocol ranks their names in strict order. Who walks first in processions matters. Whose face appears on coin fronts matters. A wrong name can start a street riot.
At this point, step back. How did incest become a crown tool? Greek kings in Egypt borrowed old rituals. Pharaohs had styled queens as sisters for centuries. The image promised divine blood and stable rule. Definition, simple now. Cult title means a ritual name that links kings to gods. Dynastic incest means staged sibling unions for legitimacy. Both serve theater. Both ease transitions after shocks. But theater can devour its actors. Cleopatra II lives inside a logic that punishes refusal. Public worship defines her marriage. Private rage defines her nights. Her city prays while spies map her door. A papyrus from the Delta praises the queen. It thanks her for tax relief and bread. It dates her authority by regnal year. Documents like this stitch a ruler to real kitchens and fields. Another decree lists temple grants. Priests receive oil and linen. The dateline names a pair of rulers. It shows how queens remain visible even when armies march. Papyri preserve these workdays better than epics. Coins speak too. Bronze pieces from this era show dual cornucopias. The legend names a queen and a king. The message is food, fertility, and continuity. The dockside reads coins faster than decrees. Now return to the personal. Cleopatra III stands beside Ptolemy VIII. She has children who must survive palace winters. She builds her own network among guards and scribes. She learns how gifts make enemies gentle. The two Cleopatras are mother and daughter. They are also rivals and partners by turns. They sign orders for the same shrines. They share priests, yet fight over singers and ships. Every ritual line is a contest. The court grows careful in its words. Scribes draft documents two ways.
One version lists all 3 rulers. Another lists 2 names when the third is absent. Each temple receives the version that keeps peace. The streets adjust with grim skill. Merchants hang both portraits in stalls. They turn one to the wall when rumor shifts. Choirs rehearse 2 sets of hymns. Captain lists carry 2 seals in different colors. In 116 BCE, Ptolemy VIII dies at Alexandria. He leaves a will that splits power. Cleopatra I stays as queen mother and co-ruler. 2 sons stand next in line. The knives do not go away. They only shift hands. Cleopatra II returns to the capital before this death. The family had reached a cold peace. She receives honors in temples again. The city hears her name read aloud at dawn. Still, the scars remain for the house. What is the larger pattern? Royal incest in this era is not about desire. It is a state device crafted for image. It binds rivals within the family, where guards can watch them. It concentrates inheritances and titles. Who loses? Women like Cleopatra II, also young heirs like Memphites, also the porters who lift coffins after riots. The city itself pays when palaces turn bedrooms into war rooms. Some writers paint Ptolemy VIII as only a monster. Others stress his grants, his games, and his pay for soldiers. Both notes can be true. He kept power by terror and gifts, and the order stuck around him. Here 3 scenes before we close. First, a courtroom in Memphis. Priests argue calendar days for a festival. The judge rules in the queen's favor. The date anchors offerings and canal work that week. Second, a quay at Alexandria. A scribe tallies wheat and writes the year as Queen Cleopatra. The clerk stamps the tablet with an ibis. He nods to sailors who carry sacks inland to ovens. Third, a small house near the canopic gate. A boy traces a coin portrait with one finger. His mother tells him a safer name to say in public. They blow out the lamp when bootsteps pass the door. The lesson is plain. A ritual that seemed holy became a trap. Incest welded crowns to a closed circle. It also weaponized family ties. In the end, Alexandria paid for a story told to please statues. This history does not ask you to judge ancient prayers. It asks you to count the cost. It asks who can refuse a right when a king stands behind it. Then it asks what story a capital will whisper to survive. Add a short legal note. Greek law discouraged close kin marriage. Macedonian custom did not crown sister wives. The Ptolemies stitched Greek court habits to Egyptian temple language. Regnal year means a year counted from accession. Scribes use it to date taxes and corvée. Priests use it to schedule rites. Merchants track debts and deliveries along canals. Rome shadows these years. Ambassadors brokered truces between brothers. The Senate liked grain and quiet harbors. When ships loaded on time, Rome stayed distant. Face one more claim. Some chronicles mention book burnings and exile lists. Those lines reflect later politics. Authors wrote for patrons who hated Physcon. Papyri remain steadier witnesses. Receipts show prices for oil, linen, and rope. Army rolls list paydays for garrisons. Oath formulas name which royals a soldier must protect. Citizens lived between proclamations and pay chests. A baker heard 2 queens named in the morning and 1 at night. A boatman salted fish while the army changed commanders. Life bent but did not stop for palace pain. One quiet group kept the city breathing. Clerks and granary men recorded weights and dates. They made sure bread reached ovens and families survived the week. Would you have stayed in Alexandria in those years? Cleopatra II dies about 116 BCE. Her later years pass behind temple screens. Cleopatra III rules on with her sons. The cycle continues until new storms arrive from Rome.